Okay, guys, get ready. It's coming up.
I like those lights. It's neat. I like that. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Remember the tempers, Greg? Lights. Lights. Shh. Doorbell.
You just want to...
Trista? Tell Ito to move the chair and table out. They need it for this one.
Don't take your mind off.
I've been meaning to tell you for years. You should keep your head natural.
That's perfect.
One side out. That's what the matter is, Vera. I'll do that.
Let's do it now.
Belongs to your mother, Peter, just like Auntie May taught you.
race. And hope refills my weakened will as I recall that scene, for just the thoughts of that short race rejuvenates my being.
Children's race, young boys, young men, how I remember well. Excitement, sure, but also fear. It wasn't hard to tell. They all lined up, so full of hope, each thought to win that race. Or tie for first, or if not that, at least take second place. And fathers watched from off the side, each cheering for his son. And each boy hoped to show his dad that he would be the one. The whistle blew and off they went, young hearts and hopes afire. To win and be the hero was each boy's young desire. And one boy in particular, whose dad was in the crowd, was running in the lead and thought, my dad will be so proud. But as they speeded down the field across the shallow dip, the little boy who thought to win lost his step and slipped. Trying hard to catch himself with his hands, flew out to brace. And mid the laughter of the crowd, he fell flat on his face. So down he fell, and with him hope. He couldn't win it now. Embarrassed, sad, he only wished to disappear somehow. But as he fell, his dad stood up and showed him his anxious face, which to the boy so clearly said, get up and win the race.
He quickly rose, no damage done, behind a bit, that's all. So anxious to restore himself, to catch up and win, his mind went faster than his legs. He slipped and fell again. He wished then he had quit before, with only one disgrace. I'm hopeless as a runner now, I shouldn't try to race. But in the laughing crowd he searched and found his father's face, that steady look which said again, get up and win the race.
So up he jumped to try again, 10 yards behind the last. If I'm to gain those yards, he thought, I've got to move real fast. Exerting everything he had, he regained 8 or 10, but trying so hard to catch the lead, he slipped and fell again. Defeat! He lied there silently, a tear dropped from his eye. There's no sense running anymore. 3 strikes, I'm out. Why try? The will to rise had disappeared. All hope had fled away. So far behind, so error-prone, a loser all the way. I've lost, so what's the use, he thought. I'll live with my disgrace. But then he thought about his dad, who soon he'd have to face. Get up, an echo sounded low. Get up and take your place. You were not meant for failure here. Get up and win the race.
With borrowed will, get up, it said. You haven't lost it all. For winning is no more than this, to rise each time you fall. So up he rose to run once more, and with a new commit, he resolved that win or loss, at least he wouldn't quit. So far behind the others now, the most he'd ever been, still he gave it all he had and ran as though to win. 3 times he'd fallen stumbling, 3 times he rose again. Too far behind to hope to win, he still ran to the end. They cheered the winning runner as he crossed the line first place. Head high and proud and happy, no falling, no disgrace. But when the fallen youngster crossed the line last place, the crowd gave him a greater cheer for finishing the race. You would have thought that he had won the race to listen to the crowd. And to his dad he sadly said, I didn't do too well. To me you won, his father said. You rose each time you fell.
And now when things seem dark and hard and difficult to face, the memory of that little boy helps me in my race. For all of life is like that race, with ups and downs and all. And all you have to do to win is rise each time you fall. Quit, give up, you're beaten. They still shout in my face. But another voice within me says, get up and win the race. Okay, that was fun.
The first run through,
Yeah, stops every time.
and then of course, last night wasn't the greatest.
But we rose each time, you know, and we're gonna do it, and now we're gonna show them what we got, okay? Let's go.
Right, with the lights. Oh, not that much. That's what we have left. Yes, all right. Whatever you guys want. Well, okay. Lighter, huh? Okay. Jen and I are going to do candle, and to briefly explain candle to those of you who have never been in a wig show, candle represents the show, and on the first night you light a candle, and as a candle lit, it starts to glow, and the flame represents a performance, and as it shines, and it that represents the spirit of the show.
Being in a show is special to us because of the friendships we made. Kristen and I have gotten to be closer partly because of the shows we've done together. Even though you may not have gotten to know everybody, if you look around, you know you have a special bond with them. Shows are like a family, mainly because in the past 2 weeks, we've seen more of each other than we have of our own families.
Okay. But we've all worked so hard on this show the past few weeks, and I know everyone is tired, but we've all got to know that tonight, the show is for us, and that we're doing it for the audience, and we're the only ones who matter tonight, and it's ours, and tonight we have to shine and show that audience what a more wonderful, talented group of people that we are, and I know that we all will, because I know we've got a lot of talent in this room. It's been displayed over the past 6 weeks, and I think you guys should all shine tonight, because I know everyone will. So we're going to And
Yeah. You guys, also, this represents a show. It should not be put out until the end of the show, and it's going to shine on for every show that we do. Tonight, as you see someone, give them a hug or a squeeze of the hand just to show support and how much you care about them and the great job that they're doing. So freshmen and newcomers, welcome to the MHS Theater, the family. May you keep the flame alive. Seniors and WIG, remember that you will not be forgotten and are welcome back anytime. May the flame be in your heart always.
Heather Schmidt.
Okay. The candles that you have now represent yourselves and the path that you've taken to get to this point. Everyone's taken a different path. That's why everyone has their own candle. But as you saw me light my candle from the Mame candle, the flame is the same. The flame brings us all together to Mame. You know, even though our candles are different, we've taken different paths to get here. Some have taken shorter paths, or they haven't been on the path that long, or they've been on the path for a really long time. All the candles are different, and they represent yourself and all the bumps you've taken to get here. And it just represents whatever you want it to represent for yourself. But the flame brings us all together.
I'm going to do apple. Okay. Now each and every one of you guys are in this show because the directors saw a seed in you. Mr. and Mrs. May and WIG saw a seed in each and every one of you guys. Now seeds are small, you almost can't see them, but they're there. And they have the potential to become something great. And WIG and Mr. and Mrs. May saw that potential that's going to be here tonight. Now, when I was a freshman, a lot of you guys know this story. When I was a freshman, I was hot-headed, I thought I was great. I showed up, and I just thought I was the best thing on the stage. And I remember belting out my lines loud and slow because I wanted to make sure everyone heard my line because I thought that I was what was important. And I didn't think about the whole show. And after a while, I decided to take a whirl at directing the show as well. I started telling some people how they could improve saying their lines and you know, the pauses that would work better and maybe where if you stand over here, maybe this would work better. And WIG put me in my place. We'll just say that much. But she gave me a second chance and we've become really great friends, and I love her. And I thought that I could grow on my own as a seed. I thought that I could just sit on a countertop as a seed and grow myself. But you can't. You need someone to plant you, to put you into the part that you belong. Whether or not you think you belong there, you guys tend to be a little bit biased. WIG knows what part you belong in, and so do the other directors, and they put you there for a reason, and you've been planted. And you guys have needed stuff to grow along the way. You've needed rehearsals to be in the soil. You've needed water. You've needed the sun. The directors, they're like the sun. They've always been urging you, pulling you forward, getting you to come out of the ground, getting you to grow up. And you grow into an apple tree. And this particular apple tree had a gestation period of about 2 months. And along that period of time, there's been bad weather, there's been a lot of problems, but because the tree had a good root, it kept growing, and it grew into an apple tree. And you guys, in the past week or so, have been seeing the apples blossom. And tonight, the blossoms become real apples. Okay, so I've got some beauties here. I got a boy apple and a girl apple. I don't know which is which. I don't even know with people sometimes. Anyway, okay, I'm going to pass these apples around from the different sides. I want everyone to take a bite out of this. This represents the strength that you guys have gotten. The potential. Yeah, small bites. It's only 2 apples. This is the potential that you guys have reached from that little seed. You've grown into this. Tonight, you guys are apples. Okay. Now,
Remember that
now this represents the strength that you guys have earned from growing this entire time. But that strength that you have now, that potential you've reached, isn't enough in itself. An apple's great on its own, but you need something else. And so I've got apple pie. Now it's going to be difficult for you guys to all get a piece of this. What I suggest is I'm going to set it on the piano.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to put it on the piano. I'll put it on the table here. If you guys have to go on right at the beginning, I want you to take a bite of this. I have a fork. And if you guys aren't on till later, you don't have to get it until later. Now this represents the show. This is the apples that you guys have grown into from those seeds. And then there's more to it. I mean, you need the stage crew. I mean, they're the crust. I mean, they support the apples. I mean, the apples have to be in something, and they need that, and the crust is there for them. And the orchestra, they're the gooey stuff in the middle. I don't know why, but they are. So you guys, as you take that bite of the apple, just remember the strength, the potential that you guys have reached tonight, that you've become apples from that little seed. And then, when you take a bite of this is the show. This is all that potential that you guys have put together into one thing that's great. And that's going to be the show, and it's going to be wonderful, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since my freshman year, the second week show I did, Little Shop of Horrors, Felicia Jones, who is my mentor and role model throughout my freshman year, and since then she's sort of been like whom I've looked up to, did Rose. And since that moment when I watched her do Rose, I thought, when I'm a senior, I'm going to do that. And I never thought this day would come. But I had always had in my mind the idea of what I was going to do for Rose. It was always the same thing that everyone always does. And then this summer, on July 17th, something changed that. And I know a lot of you knew Butch Myers, who was the health teacher at Moline last year. He was like a father to me. He was the closest adult to me in my entire life, next to my parents. And he died of a heart attack on July 17th. I got to know him at first through Natural Helpers, and the Natural Helpers theme song kind of is The Rose. And at his funeral, we sang The Rose. And
everything he represents in my life, in memory, is all that's good, and striving to be the best you can be, and never letting anyone tell you that what you have you don't deserve, or that you can't do what you are doing. So personally, I want to dedicate my performance tonight to Butch, because I know he's watching. And what the rose means to me now is completely different than what it meant to me July 16th. What it means to me now is the beauty of life. It's all that's good and beautiful, and it's all that's important to me. Theater is the most important thing in my life, and so therefore the rose, by, I don't know what theory that is in geometry, but transitive property. The rose represents beauty in life, and life, beauty in life to me is theater, so the rose represents theater, the connection. But what I learned on July 17th is all that's good can't be held on to forever. And just as I lost Butch, and I still have beautiful memories of him that I'll never forget, on Saturday night, this curtain's going to close, and we'll have memories that we'll never be on that stage saying these lines and feeling these thoughts and doing these actions again. I'll never do another show with Wig, who has been everything to me in the last 4 years. And so tonight, I want to say that the rose is, to me, the beauty of this great art form. I think it's the most beautiful art form that exists, is theater. We have the power to touch people. When people come up to you after a show, they give you a rose, which in essence is saying, thank you for touching me tonight. Thank you for getting out there, putting yourself on the line, and exposing all that you are and all that you can be to move me to the point of a greater knowledge of my existence. So really quickly, we're going to sing The Rose, and you guys can join in if you want. And just think about what the beauty of this show has meant to you, and all the friendships you've made, and all the people you've gotten close to, and how tonight and tomorrow night and Saturday night you are going to affect people in ways you may never know. But they are going to be changed. No one will walk out of this theater the same, because they will have experienced us giving of ourselves in the ultimate way that we can.